This video is brought to you by ncix.com. Great technology, selection, and service. Hello everyone, this is Dimitri with Hurricanux, and the Aorus gaming brand is something new, but they have already made their name known with the extremely thin and powerful gaming notebooks like the X3 and the X7. So it's only a matter of time until they saturate their product line with gaming peripherals to complement the rest of their offerings. So on the review table today, we've got the Thunder M7, an MMO style mouse retailing for $89, and because we already have so many outstanding mice on the market, you can check out our top 5 mice here, it might be difficult for Aorus brand to wow us over. Although it does come with a carry pouch, so when was the last time your mouse came with a carry pouch? That unfortunately will never be used in the history of mice. Now, starting with the form, the Thunder M7 is fairly compact, and given the tall nature of the body, this would be more ideal for claw grip. This compared to my daily driver, the Neo 7000, you can see how they differ with the M7 having a more narrow form, i.e. not as much support for your ring and pinky fingers. And this support on the side is built out of transparent piece that reveals a little bit of the internals, mimicking sort of in this engine showcase, and I don't mind it, but I wish it was slightly wider for additional support. Thumb support is present with just a small dimple inside the body that houses the thumb pretty well actually, but without any grippy or rubber surface, it's all plastic. Also notice the dual plastic texture on top of the surface, with the right click feeling slightly less refined and more coarse than the left portion of the body. Now Aorus certainly pimped out the mouse with plenty of bling, first with the illuminated headlights that are only visible from the front and stay blue, you cannot change the color. Then this transparent window on the top of the body revealing internal illumination that is color matched to the scroll wheel, and the angle and position of this lit up Aorus is so that it's visible when using the mouse. Pretty cool actually. Now let's talk about the buttons, since this is targeted for MMO users. The primary left and right click are quite light, easy to press with fast actuations. The scroll wheel is non-textured, it's non-rubberized, and with really loose scroll steps with extremely heavy middle clicks, so not very impressed here. The DPI change is right behind with 4 levels, but regardless of the grip, they're so far down the body it makes it really difficult to reach, so you need to readjust your entire grip to shift your DPI levels. Not very intuitive. It favors claw grip more, so that's one advantage, but still not pleasant to use. There's a profile button on the right side for your ring finger that has zero tactile actuation and is really simple to accidentally press. This was very common throughout my testing after having spent some time configuring my profile, only to realize I've switched the profile some time ago and need to cycle through to get back to my correct profile. And finally, let's shift our focus onto this entire array of buttons on the left side, 2 of which are easily accessible with your point finger that offer clicky feedback, good job, and 6 buttons for your thumb that are shaped to complement the form and thumb location. As you can see, the rear buttons thin out, but I was actually surprised to find great reach for all 6 buttons with light and clicky actuations, so it doesn't affect your grip when in use. The cable on the Thunder M7 is braided, but it is very tough and kinks are difficult to deal with, but there is a Velcro strap to deal with any excess length, and the logo on the tip for easier distinction. Coming around to the bottom, we find 3 glide feet that have not peeled during testing and proved sufficient for smooth surface interaction, and a set of replacement Teflon feet is included. Now for tracking, we have an infrared laser sensor with DPI range up to 8200. With my usual 800 DPI setting, I had no issues with tracking accurately, and it was just a matter of the grip that didn't fully satisfy my large hand. And moving on to the software, Aorus definitely needs to improve this, as everything is in tiles and not really intuitive, requiring you to constantly scroll to find the correct button and macro commands or whatever. The 5 default profiles are somewhat configured already. You can click on each button to view additional options that covers the basics, plus you have the media controls, which is nice. Going into key mapping, the entire keyboard is here basically as well, with numbers, letters, even the F keys and the numpad, along with Shift, Control, and your alts. And finally, the macro tab, where you select your recorded macros, and Macro Manager is pretty straightforward. You just record your desired execution, rename it, and there you go. Under the settings, you can disable and change color of each profile, plus enable breathing effect of the LEDs. Standard sensitivity controls for the 4 DPI levels per axis is available. You can set how many lines one scroll step executes, change your polling rate, clean your built-in memory to restore to your original state, as profiles and macros are all saved directly on the mouse. And finally, you can adjust the brightness of the headlights, which is a little bit pointless as you can never see them. And so in conclusion, this is very much targeted and built for claw grip and for individuals with smaller hands. And I have to give them an excellent button layout on the left side for all the extra commands for, what this is designed for, MMO gaming. However, DPI shift buttons are poorly located with difficult access regardless of the grip, and the profile switch button on the right side is really easy to accidentally press with zero clicky feedback. Scroll wheel is alright, but nowhere near what you would expect for this price range. And while the Thunder M7, it's not terrible, it doesn't particularly excel in any category either. And well, that concludes this review of the Aorus Thunder M7. Consider subscribing for more similar content. Give us a like if you found this review helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.